So there we have it, 1999 Royal Enfield 350 Bullet. This one's been off the road since 2005, apart from a brief moment last year when I took it for an MOT, which it duly passed, surprisingly, which was good. But the plan is to get a little bit more out of it, make a few enhancements, a few little custom mods. The thinking is, I've done a lot of riding in South India and North India, and the Bullet is the best bike to get around on. In its own environment, it's absolutely fantastic, from arid, dusty deserts in the south through to the tropical jungles of the backwaters, up to the high plains of the Himalayas and the mountain passes. The Enfield pretty much does it all. It's a sweet handling little bike, and for its 18 horsepower it's got plenty to go. All the power's low down. So what we're thinking, down in the Western Ghats there's a road called the Kotagiri road, and the local guys like to tear it up on there and race each other. And any time I've ridden it, I thought it'd be really nice to have a custom special to ride on that road. So we're going to do a few little bits and bobs to this to make it a bit more useful, a bit more usable, actually probably a little bit less useful. But I'm looking at things like tyres, brakes, some engine mods. It's only got 900 and something kilometres on the clock, so it's really not worth tearing the engine apart, and it runs really sweet. So we're doing probably no more than the exhaust, air filter, maybe mess with the jetting, and basically lose a lot of weight, because it does with all these toolboxes and these heavy mud guards. There's a lot of weight there, so we're going to try and cut down on all of that. And there's a few nasty little styling details like the indicators that are pretty ghastly, those old square ones. We'll try and do something about the tail light as well. But all in all, it should be a lot of fun. I'm going to try not to go too mad, because I want to keep it usable. And it is a build for a very dear friend of mine who has travelled with me lots of times out to India. It's not the world's most enthusiastic biker. He does actually prefer four wheels most of the time. But he has a very soft spot for India and for the Enfield. A few little bits worth pointing out on this one. You'll notice on the tank, it's just badged as an Enfield. And I think the reason behind that is, going back some way, back in the first half of the 20th century, these things were originally designed, I believe, originally as the Model G, and then into the 50s as the Bullet. When they added a swing arm, the Model Gs had a rigid back end, no suspension. And the Indian Army put in an order for 350 Bullets, and the deal came about that Royal Enfield in Redditch shipped all the tooling out to India, and they started producing them there under Enfield India. Now the name Royal Enfield in the UK, as with many of the old bike names, the old bike manufacturer names, was bought and sold and different people owned it. So the export models, to avoid any sort of litigation, so I believe, I could be wrong, they exported them just as Enfields rather than as Royal Enfields. And in 2000, the ICA group that owns Royal Enfield acquired the name Royal Enfield. So from then on, all export ones are Royal Enfield. You will notice, I mean, this is still, it's got Royal Enfield on the grips, the pads on the tank here, on the footrests. That's because they're all home market bits, but the tank's marked as an Enfield. Not much else to say about this other than, you know, it's been standing, it's a good bike to start with, it's all very solid, and I'm very much looking forward to getting stuck into it. Very much looking forward to getting stuck into it. So, without further ado, I'm going to crack on and we'll see how we go.